It was meant to be one of the happiest days of the year. A child's birthday, full of light, joy, and all the magic that a devoted mother could provide. Teyana Taylor had planned every detail of her daughter's birthday party with love, intention, and a kind of thoughtful creativity that made the entire event feel like something out of a storybook. There were pastel-colored balloons cascading from the ceiling like clouds, whimsical table settings that transported guests into a fairy tale, and a custom cake that looked too beautiful to eat. Her daughter, dressed like a tiny princess, ran around with her friends, her face beaming with joy, innocence, and excitement. For Teyana, this wasn't just a party, it was a memory in the making. One of those moments you work hard to create so your child can feel how deeply loved they are. She took to social media to share her joy, posting smiling photos with captions like, "Mom life is everything. She deserves the world." The tone was proud, warm, and heartfelt. To those scrolling through their feeds, it looked like Teyana was living in a perfect moment, present, fulfilled, and surrounded by love. But as guests mingled and the festivities continued, those closest to her began to notice something quietly unraveling behind the scenes. Teyana kept excusing herself, stepping away to check her phone, her smile faltering with each return. Though she composed herself each time, it became clear that something was weighing on her. There was a flicker of concern in her eyes that even the most flawless planning couldn't hide. Then came the moment that changed everything. Just as the music was dimmed and guests gathered around to sing happy birthday, the energy in the room shifted. The doors opened, and in walked Iman Shumpert. His arrival was not expected. He had not been invited, and yet there he was, stepping into a carefully crafted celebration as if he had every right to be there. The room fell silent. Conversation stopped. Music cut. Eyes widened as guests looked from Iman to Teyana, trying to make sense of what was happening. It wasn't a joyful surprise. It was a disruption, uncomfortable, tense, and unmissable. Security began to subtly shift into position, unsure of whether they needed to intervene. Iman, with unwavering focus, walked straight toward Teyana. The weight of the moment was heavy, and though no one knew exactly what was coming, everyone knew something wasn't right. Then he spoke. "We need to talk," he said, loud enough for those nearby to hear, but not enough to shout. It wasn't a plea, it wasn't gentle. It was direct and urgent. Teyana's response came almost instantly, her voice tight with emotion but firm. "Not here, not now." That short exchange was like a pin to a balloon. The air was sucked out of the room. The warmth that had filled the space disappeared, replaced by tension so sharp it was almost visible. Guests looked around in confusion and concern. Phones emerged. Videos began to roll. A private celebration had just become a very public spectacle. Teyana, ever the protector, clutched her daughter close. She tried to keep it together, to hold on to the dignity and calm she had displayed all day. But the emotional weight of the intrusion was too much. Tears welled in her eyes. Her voice cracked as she said, "This is her birthday. This day is for her, not for us to fight." And with that, she turned and walked away, her daughter still in her arms, tears streaming down her face as cameras followed her out of the room. The party, now in emotional chaos, continued to fall apart. Children were confused, unsure of what had just happened. Some parents tried to comfort their own kids, others huddled in quiet conversation. And almost immediately, the footage hit social media. A live stream from a guest's phone quickly spread across platforms. Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram exploded. Hashtags like #TeyanaBroken, #uninvited, and #birthdaymeltdown began trending within the hour. What had started as a private moment of heartbreak became a public spectacle dissected by millions. Comment sections filled up fast. Some people defended Teyana, applauding her strength, her composure, and her fierce effort to protect her daughter's emotional space. Others questioned Iman's intentions. Was he trying to reconnect with his daughter? Was he simply lost in his own emotion, making a poor decision in the name of love? Or was there something darker beneath the surface, an ego-driven move meant to assert control, not connection? The theories came fast and hard. Some believed Iman had been intentionally kept out of the celebration and showed up as a last-ditch attempt to be seen, to matter, to reclaim his place. Others believed it was a performance, a calculated move to spark sympathy or create leverage in an ongoing emotional or legal battle. A few went further, suggesting it might be the early scenes of a larger, long-form project Teyana could be working on, like a documentary or series meant to explore the rawness of real life, fame, co-parenting, and emotional vulnerability. Still, others rejected that idea outright. To them, this moment was too raw, too real, too painful to be orchestrated. In one widely shared video, Teyana is heard whispering to a friend, "He didn't even ask permission to come." That one sentence shifted the conversation. It became a symbol of boundaries being ignored, of emotional violation, and of the struggle so many parents face when trying to shield their children from the drama of adult relationships. Online experts, therapists, psychologists, and family coaches began to weigh in. They analyzed Teyana's body language, her trembling hands, her soft yet controlled voice, her choice to walk away rather than escalate. Many praised her restraint, calling it a textbook example of de-escalation and emotional containment in front of a child. Others highlighted the emotional exhaustion visible in her face, describing her as someone pushed to the edge, but still putting her daughter first. As the hours passed, speculation turned to silence. Teyana didn't post a statement. She didn't speak to the media. She didn't respond to the trending hashtags. Her social feeds remained quiet. That silence only made people more curious. What was she thinking? What happened in the hours that followed? Would she eventually speak out? Would a man apologize or issue a public explanation? Rumors soon emerged that Iman might be preparing to release a statement, possibly an apology, possibly a defense. But as time passed with no word from either side, the public only grew more divided. Some called Iman's behavior inexcusable. Others saw it as misguided but rooted in love. Still, a larger group began asking a more important question. How does this affect their daughter? Because lost in the public chaos is a child. A little girl whose special day was supposed to be filled with joy and innocence, not drama and heartbreak. She's the one who stood in the middle of that emotional earthquake. And for many people watching, that's what hurt the most. This wasn't just about fame or relationships. This was about how deeply children can be impacted when adult pain is mishandled. That's what made the footage so hard to watch. Teyana's tears weren't performative, they were protective. Her exit wasn't drama, it was dignity. And while Iman may have felt justified in wanting to be present, his timing, his method, and his disregard for boundaries left a mark that can't easily be brushed away. Some insiders suggest there could be more footage coming, more camera angles, more conversations caught on video. Others believe this may be the tip of the iceberg, possibly leading to legal discussions around custody, co-parenting agreements, or even public interviews that bring clarity to the situation. And of course, there are whispers that this event, this heartbreak, may become part of a larger story that Teyana is already telling or planning to tell. A documentary, a series, a memoir, something that captures not just this moment, but the years, the decisions, the heartbreaks that led to it. If that's the case, this may not be the end of the story, but the beginning of a larger narrative that millions of people will follow. But whether we hear more or not, one thing is clear. What happened that day wasn't just a viral moment. It was a reflection of something deeper, about the difficulty of co-parenting in the public eye, about emotional boundaries, about grief that never really disappears, and about what it means to protect a child's peace in the middle of emotional chaos. So now we ask you, what do you think? Was Iman trying to do the right thing but in the wrong way? Or did he cross a major line by showing up uninvited? Did Teyana handle the moment with the grace and strength it required? Or should she have done something different? And most importantly, have you ever had a special day disrupted by someone else's actions? How did you handle it? What did you learn? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your stories, your perspectives. Let's create a conversation that's thoughtful, respectful, and rooted in real-life experience.